The scream in the forest, the sky was dark. Not because it was night, but because something had torn through the clouds. A silver alien ship, damaged and smoking, fell from the stars like a dying bird. It crashed deep into an earth forest, far away from cities or roads. No one saw it fall. No one. Except the trees. Inside the wrecked ship, a tall alien mother, Valari, pulled her daughter, Sola, from the broken seat. Valari's skin was a soft blue, glowing faintly. Her eyes were sharp, scanning for danger. Sola, small and scared, held tightly to her mother's arm. She looked only 10 years old, with tiny glowing spots on her cheeks like a baby star. "Where are we, Mama?" Sola asked. Valari looked out through the broken wall of the ship. Green leaves. Fresh air. Earth. A planet with too much life, Valari whispered. They stepped out into the forest. The trees here were tall and quiet, watching them like old spirits. Valari and Sola began walking, looking for a safe place to hide that no one must know they were here. Not the humans, not the hunters. Days passed. They made a small camp in a cave behind a waterfall. They survived on fruit, plants, and clean water. Valari warned Sola again and again, "Do not go into the forest alone." But curiosity is stronger than fear. One night while her mother was sleeping, Sola heard something strange, a soft musical sound like a bell in the wind. She followed it through the trees. And then she saw it. A creature, white as snow, with a long shining horn on its head. Its body glowed faintly, just like her mother's. It stood by a small lake, drinking gently. Sola gasped that it looked like something from a story, a dream, or a ghost. But fear filled her heart. What if it was dangerous? What if it hurt her mother? She picked up a rock. Her small hand shook, but she threw it. The rock hit the creature's side. It let out a sharp cry, a scream that echoed through the trees, and then it fell. Hard, silent. Sola ran to it, heart pounding. The creature lay still, its glow faded. Its horn cracked. "Mama!" Sola screamed. Valari came running, her feet silent but fast. She stopped when she saw the body. Her face changed. Her glowing skin faded to pale gray. Her voice was cold and low. "You killed a unicorn." Sola's lips trembled. "I didn't mean to. I was scared." Valari knelt by the body. She touched it gently. Unicorns, even in alien worlds, they were legends. Some said they were protectors of life. Some said they were lies. But Valari knew better. The forest was silent now. Too silent. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Just a little. But enough. Valari stood up fast. Her eyes scanned the trees. Sola backed away from the unicorn's body. "What's happening?" Valari took her hand. Something knows. Something woke up. They turned to run. But behind them, the unicorn's body began to glow again. Bright. Brighter than before. Then, it vanished. Gone. Like light into air. Var. I pulled Sola close. "We need to hide, now." But Sola was crying. "I didn't want to hurt it. I was trying to protect you." Valari looked down at her. She didn't speak. In the trees above them, eyes were watching, not human eyes. Not animal eyes. Something old, something angry. The balance had been broken, and now the forest was calling. Leo loved his drone more than anything. While other teenagers played games, Leo flew his drone deep into the forest near his house. He liked being alone. His mom said it was because he didn't have many friends. Leo didn't mind. Today, the sky was calm, the air warm, and the forest looked beautiful from above. Birds flew between tall trees, and the drone's camera showed everything. But then, something strange appeared on the screen. Smoke. Thin silver smoke, rising from deep inside the trees. Leo frowned. There were no campers this far in, no roads, no fires, nothing. He adjusted his drone. It flew closer, dipping between branches. And then, Leo saw something that made his heart stop. A girl, not normal. Her skin glowed blue, and she had tiny lights on her face. She knelt beside something white on the ground, a strange animal with a glowing horn. Leo blinked. Is that a unicorn? The girl was crying, shaking the creature's body. Then a tall woman stepped into view, blue skin too. She looked at the unicorn, then at the girl. She said something Leo couldn't hear. Suddenly, the white creature began to shine. The whole screen turned white. When the light faded, the unicorn was gone. Leo's drone buzzed. The signal was weak. Before he could pull the drone back, the tall woman looked directly at the camera. Her eyes locked onto his. The drone shut off. The screen went black. Leo ran through trees, over roots, heart racing. He didn't know why, just that something had seen him. Something not human. He reached the spot where the drone had fallen. The air was strange here, quiet and thick, like the forest was holding its breath. He found his drone lying in moss, still warm, still dead. Then he heard it, a whisper. Why did you follow us? He turned. The tall blue woman stood behind him. She was close, but silent, like she had appeared from the air. Leo froze. I didn't mean to spy. I was just flying my drone. She looked at him with cold, glowing eyes. You saw too much. Leo swallowed hard. Was that real, that animal? That unicorn? The woman didn't answer. Then the small girl stepped out from the trees. Her eyes were red from crying. Mama, she said, he's just a boy. He didn't hurt anyone. The woman sighed. My name is Valari, she said slowly. This is my daughter, Sola. We are not from this world. Leo nodded. He had already guessed that. Valar. I looked into the forest. We didn't mean to kill it. My daughter was scared. She thought it was dangerous. Leo felt something strange in his chest, pity, and something else, fear. He looked at Sola. It was just so beautiful. Why did it disappear? Sola looked down. It didn't disappear. Leo frowned. What do you mean? Valari spoke again. Her voice was low, serious. It was taken. The forest protects its own. It knows what was lost, and it will demand balance. Suddenly, a strange sound filled the air. A deep hum, like a heartbeat inside the earth. Leo held his ears. What is that? Valari's eyes widened. It has begun. Before Leo could ask what, a flash of light hit him behind the eyes. He wasn't in the forest anymore. He stood in darkness. And yet, he could see. All around him. Glowing animals floated in space, unicorns, glowing wolves, even flying deer. They moved slowly, like spirits in a dream. Then a voice, soft and deep, spoke in his mind. One of us is gone. You saw it fall. You must carry the memory. Leo fell to his knees. I don't understand. The voice continued. When something holy dies, balance must be restored. The killer must pay, or become the next protector. Then Leo saw something terrifying. Sola, glowing, floating, her skin fading to white. Changing. Leo screamed. Nitrogen monoxide. Suddenly he was back in the forest. He gasped for air. Valari grabbed his shoulders. What did you see? Leo looked at her. It wants her, the forest. It wants her to become one of them. Valari's face turned stone cold. No, I won't lose her, not to this planet. Not again. Sola was quiet. She looked up at Leo. I'm sorry, she whispered. And for the first time, Leo saw the fear in her eyes. The fear of a girl who knew she had made a mistake. A big one. And now the world wanted to make her pay. The night sky was no longer peaceful. Above the forest, 3 silver dots blinked into existence. They were not stars. They moved too fast, too sharp. They came down like arrows, glowing red underneath. Valari looked up. Her face turned pale blue. No, she whispered. Not them, not here. Leo stepped beside her. Who are they? She didn't answer. She grabbed Sola's hand and pulled her close. We must hide, now. They ran through the trees. Valari moved like wind, silent and fast. Leo struggled to keep up. Sola kept looking back, her tiny feet stumbling over roots. Behind them, the sky lit up. The ships had landed. From each one, tall metal beings walked out shining black armor, no faces, no eyes. They looked like statues, but they moved like hunters. They were collectors. Valari's voice was tight with fear. They are from the Outer Council. They track forbidden deaths. Sacred creatures, broken laws. They don't care about right or wrong, only balance. Leo's mouth went dry. They're here for Sola, aren't they? Valari didn't speak. Sola already knew the answer. They reached an old barn near the edge of the forest. It belonged to Leo's grandfather, abandoned for years. They slipped inside, closing the heavy wooden door behind them. Valari created a small light in her hand. It floated in the air like a soft moon. Leo caught his breath. We're not safe here, are we? Valari shook her head. They can smell guilt. They don't need doors. Sola sat in a corner, hugging her knees. I didn't mean to kill it. I didn't know it was alive. It just looked so strange. Valari knelt beside her. Mistake or not, the forest doesn't forgive. The unicorns were not just animals. They were keys. To life, to peace. Leo looked out a crack in the wooden wall. His heart stopped. A collector stood outside, watching. The wooden door exploded inward. Valari pushed Sola behind her. Stay back. The collector stepped forward, metal feet cracking the floor. A deep voice came from nowhere. It didn't move its mouth, because it had none. The child broke the code. She must be taken. Valari raised her hand. Blue light gathered in her palm. I am her mother. I will not let you touch her. The collector didn't stop. She killed a protector of Earth. Balance must be restored. Leo stood between them. It was an accident. The collector paused. Then it turned its head slightly toward Leo, then give her place to another. Before anyone could speak, the floor began to shake. The barn groaned. The earth below cracked. Vines thick and glowing burst through the ground like snakes. They wrapped around Sola's legs. She screamed. No! Mama! Valari grabbed her hand, pulling hard, but the vines were stronger. Sola's body was being pulled down into the earth. Leo grabbed her too. Hold on, don't let go. The vines glowed brighter. The earth opened like a mouth, and in a flash of green light Sola was gone. Silence. Only her tiny bracelet lay on the ground. Vlare. I fell to her knees. Her hand shook as she picked up the bracelet. She's gone, she whispered. The collector stepped back. The forest has taken her. She will be judged. Leo punched the wall. What does that mean? Will she be killed? The collector didn't answer. It turned and walked out of the barn. Var. I stood up slowly. Her eyes burned with light. She's not dead, she said. She's somewhere below, inside the forest's oldest heart. Leo looked at her. Can we get her back? Valari turned toward him. Yes, but we'll have to go where no one comes back from. That night, as the collectors stood guard outside the forest, Valari and Leo prepared for the most dangerous journey, not across space. But into Earth itself. Where ancient roots remember all sins, and the forest decides who deserves forgiveness and who must disappear forever. Darkness. That's all Sola felt at first. Not cold, not pain. Just endless dark. Then breathing. Not hers. The ground around her pulsed softly, like a giant sleeping heart. Sola opened her eyes. She wasn't in the barn anymore. She wasn't even on the surface. She lay in a tunnel made of roots. They curved like ribs around her. Glowing green vines hung from the ceiling, and small lights floated like fireflies. She stood up slowly. Her legs felt weak, like they remembered fear too well. A deep voice echoed around her. You are awake, little Starblood. Sola turned fast. Who said that? From the shadows, something stepped forward. It was tall, made of bark and leaves, with eyes like shining amber. It moved like a tree, walking with memory in every step. I am Thorin, the creature said. I am one of the forest keepers. We protect what the world forgets. Sola backed away. Are you going to punish me? Thorin studied her. You took a life, a sacred one, but you are not beyond hope. Sola's voice cracked. I didn't mean to. I thought it was just an animal. The tree being's eyes narrowed. That was no animal. It was a unicorn, the last of the Eastern Flame herd. Their kind holds balance between life and spirit. When one dies before its time, the forest suffers. Suddenly, the walls shook. A wave of whispers filled the tunnel. Not voices, thoughts. From the roots themselves. Memories. The unicorn's death. Its scream. Sola's tear-stained face. She dropped to her knees. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Thorin said nothing. He pointed to a glowing arch made of twisted roots. Step through. Face what the forest remembers. Meanwhile, above ground, Valari placed her hands against an ancient tree. She closed. Her eyes, light glowed from her palms. Leo stood beside her, confused. What are you doing? Valari's voice was calm but tense. This tree is part of the underground root network. If I speak to it, I might find Sola. Leo looked around. Won't the collectors stop us? Valari opened her glowing eyes. They don't control the forest. They only fear it. Suddenly the tree pulsed. A vine shot out and wrapped around Leo's arm. Valari grabbed his other hand. Don't fight it. Before he could scream, they were pulled underground. Sola stepped through the arch. She was now in a glowing chamber of mirrors. Except the mirrors didn't show her face. They showed moments. The unicorn drinking by the lake. Her hand throwing. The stone. Its body falling. Then another image. Her mother crying behind a rock. Leo watching from the trees. And then a future. Sola standing tall, her eyes white like light, her body glowing, a horn growing from her forehead. She gasped. What is this? Thorin's voice filled the air. Every unicorn lost must be replaced. By choice or by force. Sola turned, terrified. You want to turn me into one? The chamber trembled. Not want, need. Below the forest floor, Valari and Leo landed in a soft bed of roots. Leo coughed. Where are we? Valari stood. Inside the deep wood. Only the forest's memory lives here. They moved through glowing tunnels, following the pull of Valari's blood. She could feel Sola nearby, afraid, confused. Then they saw her, standing in the mirror chamber. Surrounded by floating roots. Leo ran forward. Sola! She turned, eyes wide. You came. Valari ran to her, holding her close. I will never leave you again. But the moment was short. The chamber darkened. Thorin stepped out of the roots. You must choose, he said. The child dies, or becomes what she destroyed. Leo stepped forward. That's not fair. She made a mistake. The roots tightened around them. Thorin's voice shook the walls. Mistakes cost life, but there is another way. They looked up. A protector must be made. But it doesn't have to be the one who threw the stone. Thorin looked straight at Leo. Would you take her place? Silence. Sola cried. No, Leo, don't. Leo looked at her. Then at Vaguliari. Then at the glowing roots all around. He stepped forward. Yes, I'll do it. The roots began to move, wrapping around him. Light growing. Valari shouted, Stop! But it was too late. And then everything froze. Sola screamed. A burst of light shot from her body. The roots shattered. Leo fell back, unharmed. Sola glowed. Not with fear, but with something ancient. A new voice whispered, not Thorin. Not the forest, the unicorn. The child is not like the others. She carries Ancient blood. Let her become something new. The roots bowed. Thorin stepped back. It is done. Sola stood in the center of the broken chamber. Her skin no longer glowed blue. Now it shimmered with a pale golden light. Her eyes, once round and bright, had narrowed like the eyes of something wild. Voa. I stared at her daughter, heart shaking. What have you become? Sola looked down at her hands. I don't know, but I feel everything. The trees, the wind, the pain in the soil. It's all inside me now. Leo stepped back, nervous. You're part unicorn now? Sola nodded. Slowly, not fully, I'm something between. From the darkness behind them, Thorin, the tree being, stepped forward. His voice was heavy. The forest has accepted her. But acceptance is not forgiveness. Leo frowned. She saved me. Isn't that enough? Thorin's glowing eyes dimmed. You don't understand. She carries Forbidden's blood. Her kind once destroyed entire ecosystems. The unicorns remember. The forest remembers. Even if she doesn't. Valari stepped forward quickly. That past is not hers. That war was generations ago. Thorin looked at her. It lives in her still. Look. He pointed to the walls. The mirrors shimmered again, showing old visions, planets burning, forests falling under alien fire, and silver ships raining down like knives. Leo whispered, Are those your people? Valari lowered her eyes. Yes, we were not always peaceful. That's why I ran. That's why I hid her. Thorin's voice was like thunder now. You thought Earth was a safe place to hide. But Earth is alive. It sees. Suddenly, the chamber shook. The walls cracked. Roots pulled back, and something stepped into the chamber. It was a unicorn. The last living unicorn of Earth, but it didn't look like the others. Its fur was black as night, with silver streaks flowing through it like starlight. Its horn glowed like a blade, sharp and cold. Its eyes were not gentle, they were filled with fire. Sola took a step back. I didn't know there was one left. The unicorn spoke not with words, but straight into their minds. You touched magic with dirty hands. Valari stood protectively in front of her daughter. She is still a child. So was the one she killed. The unicorn answered. The ground rumbled. A soul was taken. A soul must be replaced. Leo raised his hand. Take me then. Let her go. The unicorn's head turned toward him. You are brave, human, but not enough. Then it looked back. At Sola, you carry something old. A broken thread of an ancient line. You are the reason balance was lost. But you may also be the only one who can bring it back. Sola's voice shook. How? The unicorn stepped forward. Its horn touched her forehead. And suddenly Sola fell. She opened her eyes again in a place, not made of trees or roots. It was a plain of stars. A silver field floating in the middle of the sky. All around her, ghost unicorns watched in silence. The one she killed stood at the center, its horn still cracked, but its eyes gentle. It stepped forward and spoke. You took my life, but I see your heart. I don't ask for pain. I ask for purpose. Sola dropped to her knees. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. The ghost touched her shoulder. Then prove it. A light burst from its body, flowing into hers. Her hands glowed, her chest burned, and a symbol appeared. Over her heart, a spiral star. Then the unicorns vanished. And Sola woke up. She was still in the chamber. Vlar. I rushed to her. Sola, what happened? Sola stood slowly. I saw it. The one I hurt. And it forgave me. The last living unicorn lowered its head. Then you will carry its place. You will walk the line between worlds. Unicorn. And alien, protector, and reminder. Thorin bowed his head. The roots around them stopped shaking. Leo let out a long breath. So, she's free? The unicorn paused. Not free. Chosen. Then it turned and vanished into the vines. Later, the forest opened for them. The collectors had left. The sky above was calm again. Leo walked beside Sola as they stepped out of the ground. "So, what happens now?" Sola smiled softly. "I don't know, but I think the forest will call me again someday." Valari placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "Next time we'll listen." Sola looked up at the trees, and the trees looked back. For now, balance had been restored, but something deep in the soil whispered, "Not for long." The forest felt quiet, now. Too quiet. Sola walked slowly beside her mother, her skin still glowing faintly from the mark left on her heart. Leo followed behind, watching the trees closely. Birds had returned. The wind was soft again, but something in the air felt unfinished. Valari stopped suddenly. They had reached a clearing. The same lake where the unicorn had once drank. The place where everything had started. Sola touched the water. It shimmered beneath her fingers. Leo sat on a fallen log. "So what now? Do we just go back home?" Valari didn't answer. Sola turned toward her mother. "Mama?" Valari looked up at the sky. Her eyes weren't soft anymore. They were sharp, like they remembered. Something she hadn't told anyone, not even her daughter. "There's something you need to know," Valari said. Her voice was calm, too calm. Sola stepped closer. "What is it?" Valari looked at the glowing mark on Sola's chest. "I thought we escaped. I thought we were safe. But Earth was never a hiding place. It was the final test." Leo frowned. "What do you mean?" Valari took a deep breath. "Long ago, before I was your mother, I was a soldier, a commander of a royal bloodline. My people, our people, were at war with the unicorns of another planet. Not creatures, beings of light and wisdom. They stood between us and total control." Sola's lips parted. "You fought against them?" Valari nodded. "We tried to destroy them, but they left before we could. They came to Earth. They sealed their power in the last herd. And I followed them. Not to finish the war, but to protect what was left." Leo stood up. "Wait, so you didn't crash? Here by accident?" Valari looked at him. "No, I brought Sola here because I believed the forest would forgive her blood. I believed I could shield her from what was coming." Sola stepped back. "Mama, why didn't you tell me?" Valari's voice broke now. "Because I was afraid. Afraid that the forest would reject you. Afraid that it would want my blood in exchange for the unicorns." Then suddenly the sky cracked. A loud thunderclap shook the trees, and something appeared in the center of the lake. A mirror of light. Inside the mirror, the ghost of the unicorn she had killed shimmered once more. Its voice was soft, but full of truth. "She has become part of the balance." "But balance is not whole yet." Valari faced it. "Then take me. Spare her." The unicorn's light trembled. "She carries your blood. The same blood that broke the sky. If that blood is not cleansed, the forest will rot. The light will die. The unicorns will vanish forever." Sola shouted. "Nitrogen monoxide. You can't take her." Leo stepped forward. "There has to be another way." The ghost unicorn looked at Sola. "There is. The one marked must choose." Sola's chest burned again. The mark glowed, bright as a star. She held her heart. What do you mean?" The unicorn's voice was clear now. "You may return the light to the forest. You may save your mother. But you must give up your own body. You will become part of the light forever." Valari gasped. "No, she's just a child." Leo grabbed Sola's hand. "There has to be another choice." But the forest was silent. This was the only path left. Sola closed her eyes and remembered. The unicorn's soft face, Leo's kindness, her mother's warm arms around her at night. She opened her eyes and looked up. "I'll do it," she whispered. Valari screamed. "Sola, no!" But Sola smiled. "Mama." You gave up everything for me. Now it's my turn to protect you." She stepped into the lake. The water didn't splash. It glowed. Leo ran forward, but a wall of wind stopped him. "Sola." Sola looked back at him one last time. "Thank you for seeing me." And then she touched the light. Her body lifted off the surface. The mark on her chest exploded into pure light. She vanished. The forest shook. The trees bent toward the lake. The mirror of light shattered. And from the pieces, a new unicorn was born. Small, glowing, and with soft blue eyes. Villari fell to her knees, tears falling. Leo stood frozen. The unicorn walked toward Villari and nuzzled her hand gently. It did not speak, but she heard her daughter's voice inside her head. "I'm not gone. I'm light now. And I'm watching." High above, the sky cleared completely. The earth had accepted the sacrifice. But far away, in deep space, something else had seen the light, and it was coming. The new unicorn stood at the edge of the lake, small, glowing, gentle. Its eyes were not like the others. They were blue, the exact shade of Sola's. Villari knelt beside it, her hand trembling as she touched its soft head. The unicorn leaned into her, silent but full of warmth. She didn't speak. She couldn't, but she heard her daughter inside her heart. "I'm here, Mama. I didn't disappear. I just changed." Leo stood nearby, silent, unsure if he should smile or cry. "She became part of the balance," he whispered. "She became the light." Villari nodded. "Yes, and I must make sure it never breaks again." The forest was healing. Where once vines had choked the land, now flowers grew. Where fear had taken root, now peace returned. Animals crept out of hiding. Birds sang again, but Earth was not finished, not yet, because far above, something watched. A long dark ship floated in orbit, black as coal, sharp as a blade. Inside, screens showed the moment the unicorn was reborn. An alien general with golden eyes leaned forward. "Impossible," he growled. "She merged with sacred light?" A soldier behind him replied, "We tracked her. She's the one, the child of Villari." The general turned sharply. "Then she's a threat, a hybrid of power and memory. We must destroy her before she spreads." Back on Earth, Leo sat beside Villari and the unicorn. It had been 2 days since the forest changed. Sola, if she could still be called that, stayed close, glowing softly in the moonlight. "She knows us," Leo said quietly. "Yes," Villari answered. "But she's not only our Sola now. She belongs to something older, wiser." Then the ground trembled. Not from the forest, from above. Villari stood quickly, eyes narrowing. "They've come." Leo frowned. "Who?" She looked to the stars. "My people, the ones I ran from." A beam of light shot down from the sky. A black ship landed in the same clearing where the unicorn had once died. Dozens of armored soldiers marched out. In the center was the golden-eyed general. Villari stepped in front of the unicorn. "You will not take her." The general laughed coldly. "We lost an entire fleet trying to capture the last unicorn herds. And now your daughter has become one? You should have killed her yourself." Leo stepped beside Villari. "She saved the forest. She didn't destroy it." The general raised a blaster. "That's the problem. She's proof. Proof that life and light can merge with our kind. That truth would tear our empire apart." He took a step forward. "Give her to us, or die with her." The unicorn stepped out. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She stood proudly, glowing brighter than ever. And then she spoke, not just in their minds, but with her mouth. Her voice was soft, clear, echoing. "You fear what you do not understand. I am not a weapon, I am a bridge." The soldiers hesitated. Forest began to glow behind her. Trees lit up like lanterns. Roots moved like waves. Wind whispered with power. Villari's voice rose. "She is hope. You came here thinking Earth was weak. But this planet remembers everything. And now, it remembers you. The trees moved. Vines reached up and pulled the weapons from the soldiers' hands. Roots cracked the ground. Surrounding the black ship. The general shouted, "Retreat!" But it was too late. The forest didn't just protect anymore. It fought back. One by one, the soldiers vanished, swallowed by light and leaves. The general tried to escape, but the unicorn walked to him and lowered her horn. She touched his armor, and it turned to ash. He dropped to the ground, terrified. "You could kill me," he gasped. The unicorn looked at him with calm eyes. "I could, but I choose not to." The ground opened. And the general vanished into the roots. Not dead. Just removed. Ship was gone. The forest quiet again. Sola turned to her mother. "I'm still here, Mama. Just more than before." Valari smiled, her tears falling freely. "You're everything I ever hoped you'd be." Leo stepped closer. "What will you do now?" Sola looked up at the trees. "I'll stay here. Watch, protect. This forest, this planet, is my home now." She paused. "But I'll always be with you. If you ever need me, just listen to the trees." The wind blew gently. Vla. I placed her hand over her heart. Leo smiled. "She's not just a girl anymore." "No," Valari whispered. "She's the light." The end.